The best gin brands in the world. Gin is the drink of choice for many people nowadays. The different brands are spreading over the globe, one delectable cocktail at a time, and is no longer limited to just a handful of classic finest gin brands. Your preferred gin determines the drink, whether it's a refined dry martini or a crisp and effervescent gin and tonic. If you enjoy gin, you're aware of how each sip can tell a story, and believe it or not, we feel there's a gin for practically every drinker, including those who say they don't enjoy it. So, what are the different brands of gin available? Which is the best to choose from? In today's video, we look at the best gin brands in the world for you to choose from. But first, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell for more amazing, luxurious videos. And without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Broker's London Dry Gin. The Broker's bottle may have a funny hat-shaped cap, but the gin within is serious business. It begins with a juniper explosion, then moves on to sharp citrus, expressive spice, and grounded root notes. Broker's London Dry Gin is bold but smooth, robust yet balanced. Broker's shined and exhibited its richness at a time when other gins had almost completely vanished into tonic water. Its herbaceous tones really shine here, and it's wonderfully accentuated with lime. Number 2. Beefeater London Dry Gin. It's not as punchy or strong on the juniper as Broker's Gin. Beefeater London Dry Gin transitions into earthy sweetness after a modest punch of juniper and spruce up front. Beefeater's fragrance softly opens out as you drink, making it a great example of a traditional London dry gin that isn't flashy or gimmicky. In the end, earthiness gives way to flowery and citrus aromas. It's one of the most adaptable gins you can ever try. Dry vermouth brings out the milder floral aromas of this gin in a martini. In a gin and tonic, however, Beefeater retains a strong presence to the end, whilst others disappear. Number 3. Sib Smith. Sib Smith is a traditional near-perfect gin with a blend of 10 botanicals and a powerful and rich flavor. It's a brand that manages to stay traditional while still being a forerunner in the artisan gin trend. Sib Smith employs a single-shot distillation procedure, which means it's merely diluted with water rather than a neutral spirit. The brand has already paved the way for an uncompromisingly superb gin that's rich, smooth, and balanced. It smells identical to many other gins on the nose, but it's when you taste it that the spirit comes to life. While juniper dominates, there are additional traces of oranges and lemons, cassia, coriander, and a little pepperiness. To bring out the flavors, combine them with your favorite tonic. Number 4. Beefeater 24. A classic London dry with a strong presence. The robust spice, spruce, and fire of the initial taste are followed by the complete richness of the gin, which covers your entire palate and ends strong. It has an almost greasy texture, again, in a good way, and it's not a cheap gin. This gin is for those who enjoy a punch of flavor and spice. A Beefeater 24 gin and tonic, where the components merge into a pleasant and refreshing cocktail with great bitterness and a sharp finish, may be made as your second drink. Number 5. Plymouth Gin Original Strength. Angelica and orris roots provide a sweet, earthy flavor that helps to balance out the juniper in Plymouth Gin, but doesn't worry, you can still taste the juniper. As a result, you'll have a more grounded attitude. Plymouth offers the most consistent taste profile in most people's opinion. Individual tastes aren't as prominent as they are in other gins. The formula and workmanship appeared to be centered on balance, but not in the sense that each taste has equal weight. With no bitterness, it's rooty, lemony, spicy, and fragrant. This gin is velvety smooth and delicious. The dry vermouth enhances the earthiness of Plymouth and brings forth more citrus and flowery aromas in a martini. Although a Plymouth G&T is delicious, the tonic water appears to mask the gin's flavor. Number 6. Seagram's Extra Dry Gin. Seagram's Extra Dry, although not being a London dry gin, is surprisingly drinkable considering the price. It's a distilled gin, which means that after the second distillation, the distillers add extra flavorings. It isn't extremely juniper forward, unlike most other recommendations. Citrus, spice, juniper, and heat are all there in equal measure. We would describe a Seagram's dry martini as almost candy-like. With the addition of tonic water, the sweetness is accentuated, resulting in a G&T that could be described as tasting like Smarties. It's quite clear and minerally. This isn't the gin for you if you're looking for a sophisticated gin with spruce and spice. Seagram's Extra Dry is easy to consume and has a position in the market. When blended with tonic or club soda, it's light and refreshing, making it ideal for late summer relaxing. And the next time you prepare gin punch for a party, you can opt to use Seagram's instead of the costlier bottles. Number 7. The Botanist. While there's no limit to how many botanicals may be used in gin distillation, the Botanist goes all out with a staggering 22 distinct flowers, fruits, and herbs in each bottle. The Botanist is distilled on the Scottish island of Islay, and all of the botanicals used in the spirit are foraged on the island by hand. Islay Dry Gin from the Botanist is a high-end spirit with a high-end bottle. It's light and herbaceous, with a flowery flavor character thanks to the botanicals in it. It's also the only Islay Dry Gin on the market, with ingredients including apple mint, chamomile, creeping thistle, elder, and heather. In all it does, the brand retains its crazy character at the forefront. It invites customers to utilize their own foraging abilities to create unique gin drinks. Looking for a reason to try something new with your gin consumption? The Botanist should be at the very top of your list. Number 8. Tanqueray London Dry Gin. Even if you don't drink gin, the term Tanqueray conjures up images of the distinct round green bottle. This one is bold and traditional, with the unctuous mouthfeel and in-your-face pininess that old-school gins are known for. However, instead of blending together in a seamless manner, the distinct flavors stand out. As you sip a Tanqueray martini, you can envision a roll call in class. Juniper, here. Coriander, yes please, and so forth. A Tanqueray gin and tonic are unmistakable. It's evident how familiar the drink seems during a brand sampling. This is precisely what anyone would anticipate if they ordered a G&T on an airline, we presume. Number 9. Hayman's London Dry Gin. Hayman's gin starts with strong juniper and orange peel, making it a weighty and serious gin. It then softens a little in the middle, where earthy root taste, spices, and subtle floral sweetness balance it out. Hayman's London Dry is for those who enjoy gin-based, spirit-forward cocktails, such as martinis. It glows brighter on its own than when blended with tonic. Surprisingly, in the gin and tonics ever produced, much of Hayman's powerful tastes were tamed. Number 10. Bombay Sapphire Gin. In the 1990s, the classic turquoise bottle was all the rage, and it was the staple in most fathers' liquor cabinets. Bombay Sapphire is marketed as a lighter, citrusy variant of Bombay Dry. However, the rooty earthiness of Sapphire dominates the tongue throughout the drink. It's grimy, but in the best possible manner. However, the citrus comes through in the end, and it's perfectly on time. Sapphire's deep taste profile is best appreciated when mixed into a dry martini. And that's all for today's video. I'd like to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. How do you like your gin, and which of the gin brands is your favorite? Comment below. Let's engage. Also, support the channel by subscribing and leaving a like. That's it for now. Until next time. Adios.